hundreds of police stations had been set on fire, and the citizens took it into their own hands to get on the streets and start doing things that the government start providing services that government usually does, which means controlling traffic, cleaning up trash, guarding the streets at night. And I mean, while it was all very inspiring to see citizens coming up and doing their civic duty, it still did not do a lot in terms of bringing down the kinds of violence towards minorities that we had seen, the Hindu community, or violence towards cultural sculptures. And it's very human rights focused. There are also people who had been strong human rights advocates during a time when talking about human rights was tantamount to being anti-state.
Zama Islam with the Daily Star newspaper in Dhaka, bringing us up to date on the events, historic events taking place right now in Bangladesh. Well, Russia has declared a state of emergency over one of the biggest incursions by Ukrainian troops into its territory since the war began. Moscow says that it has blocked Ukrainian forces from advancing deeper into the Kursk region near Russia's southwestern border. Fighting has intensified near the town of Zudza. That's where Russian natural gas flows into Ukraine. It has raised concerns of a potential stop to transit flows to Europe. Ukrainian officials said the gas transit route is still functioning. Well, Ukraine has not directly commented on the incursion, but indirectly perhaps. This is what Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said.
Ukrainians know how to achieve their goals. We did not choose to achieve our goals in war. Russia brought the war to our land and should feel what it has done. We want to achieve our goals as soon as possible, in peacetime, under the conditions of a just peace.
We've got team coverage of what's going on. I'm joined now by our correspondents Nick Connolly in Kyiv and Yanina Semenova in Riga. She's reporting from Latvia. Hearing situation in Kursk.
Well, we hear that Ukraine's troops have advanced into Russian territory. Experts now say that they have advanced 10 kilometers into the Kursk region, so Russian territory, and they've used things like satellite images to really confirm that, but still a lot of the information is unclear. Russia says it has halted Ukraine's advance, but we do see continue to see reports on social media of local residents posting images of destroyed houses, for example, or also people fleeing in their cars and coming under fire on the way. And also regional authorities have issued several air alerts throughout the day. Since this morning, at least 8 have been reported, 8 air alerts, but of course it's also really difficult to find out more information from on the ground since there are no independent journalists reporting there, and most of the information we're getting is pretty much, as I said, from social media or also Russian state authorities.
Nick, let me go to you. Ukraine was noticeably silent on this yesterday. What are you hearing from Ukrainian officials today?
Brent, it's basically silence. We had a kind of very kind of indirect reference from President Zelensky today, who said that Ukraine's army was able to surprise the world and its opponents, but nothing more than that. I think they are burnt here from last year's pretty much failed summer offensive, where there was a lot of talk and a lot of expectations and then less in the way of results on the ground. And I think they are also very conscious of the fact that this offensive into Russian territory could be unpopular amongst Ukraine supporters in the West, and so they're trying to basically keep their head down and say as little as possible and let the facts speak for themselves. This is obviously risky, taking this much in the way of resources into Ukrainian hands, and whether this risk is worth it, and they seem to have really taken the Russian command by surprise.
Janina, let's talk about the optics of this for the Kremlin. The Kremlin insisting that the war in Ukraine is going according to plan Talk to me about the political implications for Russia. I mean, how can the Kremlin explain this to its public?
Yeah, I think what Nick just mentioned, this caught by surprise, is definitely true. Russia pretty much seemed to be caught by surprise. It took Vladimir Putin a day to react to the events that we've been seeing happening, unfolding since Tuesday. And yeah, I mean, since then, he's really shown an effort to show that the situation is under control. Just this afternoon, Putin spoke to the acting regional governor and said it was an unconventional, difficult situation that we've been seeing here. So this is pretty much, yeah, sounds like a bit of downplaying the situation that is happening in the Kursk region right now.
Nick, we know that Ukraine's troops are already overstretched. They've been retreating in the east of the country. How can they afford to open a new front in this war?
Look, I think we are unable for now